It's the Sports Kings. Sports Kings. Big Mike.
He might fall off the wagon in the next 10 minutes.
Rob Calloway.
It's about bringing talent. It's not about all the flash and glitz and glam.
Not your average sports talk show. The Sports Kings.
This is NFL legend, Work Done.
This your boy D. Howard, a.k.a. Superman.
I'm Jerome Bettis, the bus.
It's Cam Newton. Holla at your boy, already.
This is Hank Aaron, and I'm down with the King.
Tell a friend, Kings is back.
Yes, oh yes. Another beautiful Friday afternoon, another beautiful day in the A, and it just happens to be Friday evening as you enter the last episode of the Sports Kings podcast for this week, as heard on Spreaker.com. Once again, you can contact us while you're listening to the podcast at Sports Kings Live on either Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. You can also email us if you got something a little bit longer to say to us at sportskingsatl@gmail.com. The other voice you'll be hearing will be my partner in crime, Rob Calloway, coming to you live and direct from Decatur, Georgia. What up, Doc?
Happy Friday, brother. How you doing?
Hey, man, I can't complain. I'm above ground, so starts with that, I guess. Get to see some.
And we got us a big one at the Highlight Factory tonight, too, man.
Absolutely.
I'm excited about that.
About to say, man, get to see hopefully some good basketball tonight. King James is in town to take on the Atlanta Hawks, so that is the marquee game of the evening in the NBA. What people are calling an Eastern Conference Finals preview, maybe, but we'll see. We'll see. Before we get to that, let me set the show up real quick. We're gonna talk a little bit about Billy Beane, and what I realized today, Rob, and I'm glad I didn't say this on the air yesterday, but Billy Beane is gay, but Billy Beane is also not gay.
What?
Let me explain. Billy Beane, who's the GM of the Oakland Athletics, Billy Beane, is just that. He is as far as anyone knows, he's a heterosexual man who is the GM of the Oakland Athletics. Billy Beane is a former Major League Baseball outfielder who played his entire career in the closet and came out in 1999, and who is now the Major League Baseball ambassador for inclusion. So two different guys. Yeah. Until today, I thought it was the same guy, and that's why I'm saying I'm glad I didn't say that on the air yesterday. So we'll talk about Billy Beane and what he has going on. We're gonna talk some fighting, just fighting in general. We're gonna talk about Ronda Rousey. We're gonna talk about the big fight that's coming up in May between Floyd Money Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, and some of the things that are surrounding that. Some of the new things that are going on as far as your regular TV and boxing is concerned. And also this, I want to try to get into some of this NBA stuff this hour, because we've got to talk about the Syracuse situation. It's a lot of meat on that bone. If you want some good reading, if you got a stomach ache or something, and you need something to take in there with you, download that NCAA report about Syracuse. It's about 94 pages, and it's a 94-page PDF. I didn't get through even half of it, but it's very meaty, and it shines a light on a lot of different things. So in the second hour, I definitely want to get to that, but not not this hour. What's going on with the old computer, Rob? God, technology, I'm telling you, it'll kill you. It will kill you, but it's also so good to you.
Hey, you got to put the pen to the paper sometime, bro.
And then we got a little a little more Major League Baseball news outside of the Billy Beane story. But tonight I wanted to start off with some of these, do kind of like a rapid fire thing with some of these NFL offseason moves that have gone on in the last week or so. Well, they're actually proposed moves. The trades are actually proposed. People can't talk officially to free agents until next Tuesday, but now tomorrow starts this fictitious legal tampering period that they're able to go through and pre-negotiate deals with players. So The first thing I have on my list here, and it's just like so funny to me. Jerome Simpson signed with the 49ers, and today the owner's like, I don't even know why we did that. Well, you the one cutting the checks. What you mean you don't know? Is this franchise about to go through that right now? You know what I mean? This was a franchise that went 2 straight Super Bowls. Now the owner's like, I don't know why we did that. Well, dude, you cut the checks.
But it's a lot that the owner, I mean, my God, man, let me just say this. And you're right. The 49ers back-to-back Super Bowl appearances, and for things to go this way, at the conclusion of the season, your coach is gone. Then, you think you got a deal in place for a new head coach, but, he said he wants to bring in his own guys, and you say, no, you're going to take our defensive coordinator, or you can just don't even worry about the job, and he passes on the job. And then, lo and behold, you get a relatively unknown defensive coordinator. He was the defensive coordinator, right? The head coach?
Yeah, he's the inside guy.
Or was he just like the linebacker coach?
I think he was the linebacker coach. He is inside guy.
Right. And so now, now he's the head coach. And look, man, hey, if you are a fan of the 49ers, just remember what they did for you the past few seasons. I think that. You
think what?
No, I say because I just think they're about to go through it. I mean, at this point, it looks like nobody knows what they're doing.
To say the least. The reason that the story just kind of just caught my attention because Jerome Simpson is, if you don't remember, he's the dude that when he was with the Bengals did that front flip into the end zone and stuck the landing, and it was so awesome.
Right.
But, a couple of years later or a year later, he went to jail on some weed stuff, so there's both sides of the coin. And then he signed with the Minnesota Vikings, and I don't know if he ever got a chance to play or if he did play. He was in Minnesota, so you heard nothing about him. And then he was cut, and now he's trying to revive his career with the 49ers. So good for him. Talent wins out. You'll hear me say that a bunch of times during these podcasts. Talent wins. Vince Wilfork, the Patriots decided not to pick up his option, ending an 11-year run with that team. So I don't know. It's one of those situations that I'm always talking about. As a franchise, you never want to be the one left holding the hot potato. Like Vince came back last year off of an injury and had a slow start, but ended up picking it up later in the season. But now that you don't have to play him and you don't have to sign him back, he's a guy who's up there in age, obviously up there in weight as well, and you don't want to be what the Pittsburgh Steelers are, like begging, oh, please retire so we don't have to cut you. No, cut him. It's football. You can't play anymore. All right, we'll holler at you. You got paid handsomely for the job that you did, and for some years, a job that you didn't do. Talking about Troy Polamalu. Let's ride. Right. That whole feeling like you owe somebody something. Like that's the whole. And we'll delve into this a little bit later too, maybe. But that's probably where my feelings stem from when it comes to the whole Dominique thing. Where people around here feel like something is owed to Dominique Wilkins. Like he didn't collect no checks while he was here. Like he was doing it for the love or something. Nah, he got paid handsomely for the job he did. Who still owes him something?
Did you hear Dr. J's speech? I know you probably didn't go back and listen to Dr. J's speech yesterday, did you?
Dr. who? Julius Erving?
Dr. J.
No.
Yeah.
No. Why?
Well, he spoke because he is the one that actually unveiled the statue. And what he said made so much sense. And it kind of put the arguments that me and you have been having prior to this podcast, and even the first podcast we did, we kind of went back and forth about the whole Dominique thing. It kind of put everything into perspective. I mean, what he said was that this Atlanta Hawks organization has been an organization that has never paid tribute to the past. And he said that he hoped that with the unveiling or the construction of the Dominique statue, that will then open the door for them to build a statue for a guy that you brought up in one of our private conversations, in Pistol Pete Maravich, and also some of the other guys like Dan Roundfield and some of those other guys. So I mean, it made sense what he said yesterday, and I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I guess it depends on who you ask. That made sense. Doesn't make sense to me, but
I mean,
we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it more. Let's get through this NFL stuff. Let's stay on track here. Brian Hoyer is no longer a Cleveland Brown due to the signing of Josh McCown. So as a native Clevelander, this would be his first time playing football outside of the state of Ohio, and he could possibly be a guy who could pull off a starting role somewhere in the NFL. I'm not sure where, but he's shown some. Well, yeah, that's further on down the list here. He's shown some ability to do some things good, but he's shown some ability to do a lot of very subpar things at the quarterback position as well. So, it's all, I guess it's all based on taste and what you think you can get out of the young man. The Panthers signed Mr. Blindside, Michael Orr, to be what they're gonna call the left tackle, protecting Cam's blind side. Now, the thing about this guy, per ProFootballFocus.com, and if you're a person who's into the deeper numbers, the analytics of the game, I do suggest that you check out ProFootballFocus.com. Per ProFootballFocus.com, this kid has only had one good season. That was his. I was about to say freshman, his rookie season, and every year since, a guy who didn't miss a game till last year, played every game in his 5-year career until last year. He's gotten worse and worse and worse. He's a guy who's is good to give up at least 10 sacks a season. So, yeah, good luck with that down in up in North Carolina, Cam. I don't see the benefit in that signing at all. The Panthers also extended their tight end Greg Olsen, which I think is a good move. He's found himself amongst the elite in tight ends after leaving Chicago, where initially the tight end wasn't a priority. A young man out of the University of Miami he followed Jeremy Shockey and spent the beginning of his career in Chicago, now in the NFC South with the Carolina Panthers. So he has found himself a home, and they've actually extended him for another 3 years. So good for him. Now we're on to the Eagles. Byron Maxwell seems to be as interested in them as they are in him. He noted their coverage schemes, a lot of press man and a lot of cover 3, same type of things they do out in Seattle. So that may be an imminent signing. The Eagles are also interested in cornerback Devin McCourty. Not cornerback. I'm sorry, I wrote cornerback because he used to play cornerback. He was a safety in New England, Devin McCourty, one of the McCourty twins. What were you saying earlier about the Eagles? What were you about to say just now about the Eagles before we got down to them?
No. I said the Jets. I was talking about Hoyer, Brian Hoyer. And I was just saying, when you were talking about possible landing places, I was saying the Jets. But what's the kid from Miami, the quarterback from Miami?
The kid
that
from Texas
was started but ended up being the backup.
Wait, from Miami? Miami who?
The Dolphins.
No, he's still a starter. The kid that played wide receiver. Jesus Christ, what's that boy's name? He played wide receiver at Texas A&M.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's always been a starter. Matter of fact, they just extended him. They just gave him some more money. Yeah, he didn't get benched. So who are you thinking about?
No, who is the backup quarterback for the Dolphins? Tell me.
God.
I mean, if you can think of it.
Really?
If you can't think of it,
why would I know that? I don't. Is it Kellen Moore? I don't know. Maybe Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore. Is it Kellen? No.
I don't know.
No.
I'm throwing something out there.
I'll find it. But Brian Hoyer, getting back to Brian Hoyer, is a guy that could possibly end up in New York. I mean,
why would you say that?
If you look at
where is that information coming from? Just you?
Well, I'm just saying. No, they need a quarterback.
They need a good quarterback. Do you see how much money they're spending on wide receivers? They need a good quarterback.
Right, but I don't think they're gonna take a chance, as we talked about yesterday, and possibly draft a Marcus Mariota in the first round. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think they're gonna try to find somebody that's already in the league.
Wait, why not? Why wouldn't they do that? Why would they not?
Because, well, I mean, I just don't think that the Jets will continue to do that. I mean, because you got to look. They went for Sanchez. They drafted Sanchez. He was the quarterback for 3 years, two AFC appearances. Then everything fell apart because the defense got bad. And then they brought in Geno.
Yeah, but so you remember what we talked about yesterday or the day before yesterday about this new or this current CBA
Well, yeah, you don't. Yeah, if it don't work out, you can let him go. I know that. I mean, yeah, but
Geno's
I don't
played
think
2 years. He's got one more year on his deal. He was a second round pick, so he only got a 3-year